So Epic Games and EA were at the House of Parliament yesterday talking about loot boxes and microtransactions. So Fortnite, which you should know, is the most popular video game ever, and they basically got grilled by the MPs about about microtransactions and the game being addictive. I'm sorry, I find it pretty funny that he kept saying that the game's addicting and stuff like that, if mainly talking about children, underage children playing the game. The game is a 12, Peggy 12, and who's responsible for the child playing them games? The parents, obviously, not Epic. So I watched it like early hours, and I expected it to be an hour. It ended up being like 2 hours long. And firstly, the guy at the beginning is right, but first they talk about what Prince Harry said about it being addicting, and he said it should be banned. This was back in April, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he did say it. Epic Games themselves said they were surprised by what he said. Okay, so next up, they talked about how much people are spending on Fortnite. Well, it's a free game. It's not like it's $60, £60, whatever. It's a free game, free to play. You can just jump in without paying anything. You can play the game without paying anything. There's no competitive advantage for buying these microtransactions, just stuff in the item shop. And then the MP said something along the lines of some guy spent $1,600 pounds in one day. But there's an item shop that's got like what, 12 items, I think. It varies depending if there's an event happening. But you got the battle pass, you got the item shop. There's really a limit you can spend every day if you think about it on Battle Royale. And there's also a limit to how much you can spend on Save the World as well, because you cannot buy llama after llama every single day. I'm pretty sure the 50 V-Bucks one, I'm not sure if there's a limit on that, I can't remember. But the one that's like 2,000 V-Bucks, depending which llama it is, you can only buy it like twice or 4 times, so there's that. So then the MP asked him, how many games would people play, and would they play it back to back? Well, I don't know if he's ever played a video game, but you don't jump on just to play one game. Go on it, play it maybe for a few hours. You're not just going to go in one game unless it really annoys you. You're not just going to go in one game and then come straight off the game. I don't know anyone who does that. You play at least a couple of games, and if you're enjoying it, then you would play for a few hours. But I found it funny when he asked that. So apparently Fortnite is being blamed for a divorce. Really, you're gonna blame a video game for your divorce? No. Why would you blame a video game for your divorce? It's clearly your fault for playing the game in the first place, and then it's your fault for getting that divorce. So don't start blaming a video game for that. No, okay. It's a BBC article that said that. Also, this is what the article says. Another topic. Fortnite predator groomed children on voice chats. Whose fault is it again, really? Parent, like seriously, parent or guardian should know what their child is doing online. Like PlayStation, you can set to what Peggy games you can play, your child can play. So if you don't want your child playing 18 games, then you can set it as that on PlayStation. I'm not sure about Xbox, but PlayStation you can. You can also set a time where it logs your child out. So the committee hearing was called to examine immersive and addictive technologies. So basically saying that Fortnite is addicting. I won't say it's addicting. I find it fun, but not addicting. Also, the MPs asked Epic if they verify the age of players or encourage users to take breaks after long periods of gameplay. Now, I don't know if this was most of it aimed towards children who play the game. I'm just going to assume, since it's a Peggy 12. Well, then again, it's the parent. You know, the parent should know how long the child's playing for. So PlayStation verify your age. You cannot make a PSN account unless you're 18. And if you're under 18, then parent or guardian has got to create the account, unless obviously you put a different year in. But anyway, they've got to make that. Then the parent basically is in charge of that account and can decide when their child plays and what games they play. Also, what EA said about loot boxes. They said they don't call them loot boxes. There you have it. They do not call them loot boxes. They call them surprise mechanics. And yeah, I guess they're kind of right. Surprise. It's a surprise. You don't know what you're going to get. But loot boxes are not the way to go. Okay, EA also said players find it fun. I don't find it fun, especially in Call of Duty. It's not fun. Also, especially if it's a competitive advantage, it's no way fun. Fortnite Save the World has loot boxes, but it's different than any other loot box in any other video game. Before you open the loot box in Fortnite, you can actually see what you're getting, so you know what you're getting before you buy it. So, in my eyes, that's totally fine, since you know what you're getting. And why didn't they just get EA and Activision and see what they both said? Because I would love to know what Activision would have said about loot boxes. We all know they would have defended them like EA did. She also said at EA that loot boxes are not a form of gambling, as gambling commissions around the world have already said. People enjoy being surprised, and this is no different in video games with loot boxes. That's what she said. So earlier this year, the UK government announced they would launch an investigation into things like loot boxes, as well as game addiction and more. And this hearing that happened yesterday was actually part of it. So I guess we're gonna wait, see if anything happens about this. I don't see any problem with the microtransactions in Fortnite. That is what I think of it. Okay, it's my opinion. I don't see any problem with it. Loot boxes, on the other hand, loot boxes, let's say, I haven't played FIFA in years, so I can't say that. Loot boxes in Call of Duty, yeah, big problem. Especially Advanced Warfare. Yeah, you got the supply drop in Advanced Warfare every so many levels. But the thing is about Advanced Warfare is the stats changed. So you could have got a gun in a supply drop that had high damage. So if you put a lot of money into that game, then you'd have an advantage over players who didn't put money into the game. That's the problem with loot boxes. But Fortnite doesn't have a competitive advantage, and to me that's totally fine. If it doesn't have a competitive advantage and it's just like for styles, for looks, then I don't see any problem with it. So loot boxes could end up getting banned in UK. I guess we're gonna have to find out. Fortnite on the other hand, well, we don't know. It could get banned in UK, Fortnite, since Prince Harry wants it banned. But anyway, it's just what I think of this whole situation. Hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.